These are the tools you'll need to change your serpentine belt. You'll need a ratchet, then a 14mm socket to loosen the pivot bolt. Then you loosen the lock nut with a 12mm socket. And then the adjuster is also a 12mm, but it's worked better with a deep well, just to get in there. So I'll show you once we're in the car. Okay, so this is our serpentine belt right here, of course, and it runs around the alternator, the AC compressor, and the crankshaft. So what we want to do is loosen the pivot bolt over there, then loosen the lock nut, and then with the adjustment, we're just going to let the alternator go down, and it'll take off the tension off the belt, and we can just take the belt right off. You can do everything from the top of the engine like this. So I've just moved this hose out the way so you can see better. This is your pivot bolt over here, and you're just going to go in there, and that's a 14. You just loosen that right up so that your alternator can pivot. So the next thing you're going to do is loosen the lock nut. It's a 12mm socket, and it sits right there. Once you've loosened that lock nut right there, you can loosen the adjuster over here. And what I like to do is just put a dab of paint there just to mark the position where it was before I started. You loosen that adjuster and your alternator is going to go down. Take off the tension off this belt, and once the tension is off, you can take the belt off. So now that you've loosened the lock nut, you'll just go to the adjuster over there. That's a 12mm socket. And you just loosen that, and the alternator is going to move down as you want it to do. Once you have your alternator low enough, you're going to just slip the belt off, front and the back, and then you just need to maneuver it out the bottom here because it's a little tight there. There it is. Simple as that. When you install your new belt, you'll just do the reverse of the process. Put your belt over the 3 pulleys. Then what you'll do is you'll tighten the adjustment nut, bring your alternator up. Then you'll fasten the lock nut, and then lastly you'll fasten the pivot bolt again to make sure it's all nice and good and tight. If you have this marked with a pen down there, then you'll be able to see once you get to your mark. Your belt should not be twisting more than 45 degrees.